Listen to that theme song. Isn't it great? No theme song. I'm sorry for the people that
We just
tune
don't
in
have to.
just to hear all the.
That's
Uh,
really good.
Thank you. I've heard it about
That's the only theme song I need.
about 5 billion times. Colleen is out sick tonight, so it's Jamie and I, and so there's not going to be any feedback. So, Mandy, we apologize in advance for not reading your email. Now, this gives you time, though, if you didn't send an email, to send an email saying, so right.
Well, I think that Mandy might be under tornado watches tonight, so maybe she hasn't even had a
Oh,
chance to watch it yet.
oh, that's true. Didn't even think about that. Guys, stay safe out there. It's dangerous.
It's storm
Uh,
season, man.
and so I already mentioned that Jamie's here, and I'm smell your butt. Um,
That's the weirdest tribal.
yeah,
Like
it was like they're just so giddy.
they were trying to latch on to like every metaphor and analogy they possibly could. They were like they were dogs, they were family, they
Yeah,
were at a club at some point.
yeah. I mean, just it was. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you want to talk about first, but can we talk about the vote?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because say it seems to me she's a smart player.
I
She's,
agree.
but why would she vote for Cedric?
I don't we never saw any conversation with them saying, "Hey, Cedric's got to go."
No, not at all. That could
But
have been that.
there had to have been though, right? There had to have been some conversation that she thought this was going to happen.
I don't because her reaction though when it wasn't coming up Cedric, she wasn't shocked.
Yeah,
I mean, it just I was like going,
do you think she was just mad that like nobody wanted to vote the way she wanted to vote, so she just took her ball and went home?
maybe, but I'm just she said, well, I'm just going to lay low and not cause any problems and stuff like that. But it was a semi close vote.
It was really close. They were
What if
tied
it,
up
what
until the last two.
yeah, what if she would have lost because she voted for Cedric?
Well, then that would have learned her right.
No one's voting for Cedric right now because he's terrible, and I hate to pile on him. He's terrible in the challenges. I'm
Oh
like
my
going,
god, he made a ball bounce backwards last
yeah,
week.
exactly. And he couldn't. I go, God, he can't get up that net. I mean, I know he's hungry. I know, but everyone else, it's just like I felt bad for him. And then
Yeah.
he got emotional, and I get it. And it was like,
Yeah, he
God,
felt bad he's letting people down. But like, I mean, okay, Mitch is a pretty small person. He's not like one of the big guys out there. And he's literally using all of his strength to push Cedric up over the ramp.
yeah,
If he can lift a whole human at this point, Cedric should be able to lift his own human body a little
yeah.
bit.
You got to take it if you're. It's just okay. I got this rope. I got this part. I got this part, and you slowly just pull yourself up with,
Just a
you
little bit.
know,
Like
Joe's
steps.
help. Joe's helping you get up there. I don't know. I didn't know what they were doing.
It was it was now, I mean, like, granted, I know that, they just went through like mud soup, so you're gonna weigh more.
Right.
But still, I mean, yeah, you've got the guys that like flew up there,
Yeah.
like David and Kyle or whatever. But
Yeah, it looked like an I Love Lucy episode, like he was Lucy caught in a cargo net or something
oh
like that.
no. Poor
It's just
Cedric.
or like Gomer Pyle. I remember one time he was caught in a cargo net, and they were doing training and trying to get up the cargo net, and he couldn't do it. Or Laverne and Shirley. I'm talking physical
Yes.
comedy,
It was
and I'm
it
like,
was a bit like watching Carolyn when she was stuck in the net tube, you know?
yes, yes.
Sure, there was just no getting out. This
I
is
go.
where
At
Cedric
one
is.
point, I didn't think he was going to make it. I say he's
They're
not
gonna
going to make
drop
it.
him. They're gonna drop him, and he's gonna get hurt, and then he's gonna
Yeah.
have to get air vac'd out, and it's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, because I was like, wow, Cedric, man. But anyway,
And then he's gonna
uh,
injure his butt, and then the butt doctor is gonna have sense of irony, and it's just
yeah, the butt doctor is in for
the butt
emergency
doctor
surgery.
on his butt.
But I just didn't get that vote. I didn't
Yeah,
get that vote at all. I mean, they tried to just. I figured it was going to be charity, but
I
I don't
thought there
know.
was a pretty good chance of it being Say. And listen, You know what? I have no shame in still being a 0 point player in this game. Um, what do I have? 1 point, maybe zero. Um, but I made an announcement like this last week because I have had her. I've had Say to go home every single week except for the first week. And I've decided that if she doesn't go home today, then I'm gonna have to root for her. So that means she'll be gone next week, but now I'm gonna root for her.
Brian H has a different private pile. He has from
The private pile.
yeah, what's his name? What's the movie? Private Pile. Private Pile. He eats a jelly. Is that a jelly donut? Drawing a blank on the name. I had Gomer Pile. He has Private Pile from Full Metal Jacket. Thanks. I finally got that. That was anyway.
Cedric was playing like a pile. So let's just say
he was definitely a pile. I did find it odd and kind of funny and ironic that Say when she when she realized she was getting the food was cheered after last week. She told Mary, "Hey, don't do that.
No, don't be happy. Don't gloat."
And then this week she comes back, since we had brownies, we had nachos, we had pizza, I'm like, I might have strangled her. I mean, you literally last week, which was probably 2 days ago,
you gave Mary a talking to
in front of everybody. And then you're doing the same thing, or even worse, because you actually ate the food. So it's like,
I kind of feel like Say is learning how to be a person in a group of people, and we're watching it in real time. Because she's like, well, Mary did it last week, and everyone seemed to be okay with that. So now I'm going to do that, and it'll be fine.
It would have been if she didn't call out Mary in front of everybody.
Yes.
So I'm just like going, oh my God, Say,
But Mitch clocked it. Mitch is watching. He doesn't care for any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you got the food.
Yeah, good job. Way to have a brownie, Say.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
You know what? I didn't hear Joe and David bragging about all the milk.
No, got milk. Yeah.
That's a weird thing. That's a weird thing to get really excited about, like openly.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a beer, maybe something like that. If you like wine. But man, I drinking a gallon of milk a day.
I could really go for a tall glass of milk is weird.
Yes.
My apologies to anyone who's a real big fan of the dairy, but I just feel like that's a strange, like, bonding thing.
I used to love milk, but it's part of the thing. I can't drink a lot of milk, or stomach just can't digest it properly. That was the first thing we talked about, was Say voting for Cedric, because it still doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
Sherry.
It doesn't. I don't know.
Well, I like how she goes, oh, Mary, we got such a bonding. The greatest time I had in my life was chasing Mary around the island. Now we're working together, and Mary's like going, I don't know if I can work with her. I don't trust her.
No, she's a tribal wizard. Don't trust her.
Yeah. Well, I think she is smart, but again, but you go to the vote. I'm just blown away. So I mean, I know people say it's different when you're sitting on the couch.
Like, I could understand if she's like, well, I'm not going to vote for it because they're telling me who to vote and I don't want to. I mean, that's a problem in itself, but I can understand some people are going to have that feeling. But like, if you're going to put someone's name down, then put Mitch's name down, who put your name down last week.
Right.
Why Cedric, who saved you multiple times for reasons we don't understand, but he's there for you. Don't put his name down. He's on your side.
Yeah, and I don't know. If someone's telling me to vote for someone and I don't feel like causing issues.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll do that. I'll do that until I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. But I'm not going to throw some vote out there that some rando that has no chance. He had no chance of going home.
Well, especially when that person has saved you multiple times. Like, that's what really, because if she would have just put like I said, if she would have put Mitch's name down or basically anybody else, I could kind of understand that maybe that's what she was doing, but it was Cedric, and I cannot wrap my head around why she would do it. But here we are, asking
Yeah.
the questions. I'm sure she has an answer, but
Yeah.
she's
I
not
mean,
here.
she's probably saying, "I'm sending a message to Cedric, so you can't mess with me anymore." But I'd be like, "Okay, you gave me one vote.
Yeah.
I wasn't even close. You were closer going home than I was."
Yeah, and about that, yeah, Chris is asking or saying that he was baffled that Eva voted for Say while Joe voted for Charity. Was it a split vote on purpose? It has to be.
Yeah.
The two of them work too close. They had to have agreed on a split in case somebody had an idol or an
Yeah.
advantage. It's
Because they
always
had
smart to have a split.
because they had no idea that someone was voting for Cedric.
It was a surprise. It was a plot twist.
Now it would have been funny if Cedric went home with just one vote.
Oh God. Yeah, that's happened before. That's painful. I kind of was wondering if Cedric was gonna just like do his own game in because he was just feeling so down and then Star had a great merge
Yeah.
episode.
The thing that kills me about Star is in the beginning there was nothing. I mean, I'm sure she's had the same personality throughout the whole thing.
It's because she wasn't there. She was in the jungle the whole time trying to solve that idol. She was never at camp.
She's got the best personality left.
I kind of think she does. Also, she looked hella cool when she was covered in mud. She looked awesome, actually.
But she's a rah-rah person. She got Cedric at it. Come on, no, we're not doing this. You're not doing this. We went from like the first 3 or 4 episodes not knowing anything about her to now I'm like, I'm rooting for her. I like her. Yeah. And she was good. She was good second in the challenge, which was pretty good.
You know what? This game has a way of producing all sorts of people who have like a terrible start game and then at merge really do well. And vice versa for that matter. But I definitely think Star is one of those people that her personality is just, I don't know. She's such a likable person. I don't know if people are going to consider her a direct threat yet. I don't know. She did really good in her portion of that immunity challenge.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is that maybe that was her strategy, maybe playing under the radar.
Yeah.
And but now maybe she knows she has such a great personality. She was trying to hide it.
And I think out of everybody there that through the pre-interviews, she has the least amount of experience, and knowledge of Survivor, the game. So I don't know. I kind of think that sometimes that really works for players. Especially if they talk about it like, yeah, I've just started watching it or I'm not. The people who are super fans tend to get targets on them really quickly because if they knew too much about the game, they can outsmart me. But if she doesn't know that much, we'll just leave her over here. We don't have to worry about her yet. And she could work her way through with that personality. She could stick.
Yeah.
So
I hope she's good TV. I mean, if she would have voted off first couple weeks, I've been okay, whatever. But now it's like I don't want her voted off because I like her personality. Sherry says, I think Say was pissed because the other girl didn't have a vote and Cedric didn't tell her and realized, yeah, I think that's what it was. But it still doesn't make sense to me why Say voted for Cedric. It just she just again, I think she's a smart player. But when she came back to camp and was bragging about the food and everything else, I'm like going, oh my God.
Yeah, you know what she's missing is she's missing she needs a loyalty. She needs one loyal person. And she had Cedric. I don't think she has Cedric now at this point. But
no, especially with Chrissy saying you can't trust her. You don't want to, you don't want her to be your, she's going to tear your game apart.
I have a sneaking suspicion that we haven't seen the end of the Say fireworks yet. And I don't even care. I'm not even mad about it. I'm go get it, girl. Just cause chaos. I'm here for you. You escaped like five boots. I thought she was going and she escaped me every time. So
and she might make it because people are looking at her as not a threat.
Yeah.
As far as,
jury votes. Yep.
I mean, maybe she had no idea who everybody was voting for. that's why she voted for Cedric too. I think you said it earlier. Maybe she didn't know.
She has a strange. I mean, I knew she was going to be upset that Cedric did not get her the information before they went into tribal.
Right.
We knew that was going to happen. I felt like he explained it really, really well at the top of the episode when he was kind of trying to tell her what happened. Mitch was the one who was kind of the sitting duck in the situation where it was like, I'm really sorry. And she, to her credit, seemed to handle it really well at the moment. Like, you know what? No, it's fine. I put your name down too. It's no big deal. That's why this whole thing just confuses me because Mitch put his name down, fine, but
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we'll get a little bit more to it in the next episode. We might have a few more confessionals, but she's gonna cause fireworks. Whatever she does, she's gonna blow it up.
Well, she's good. She's good for the show.
Yep, I'll keep her around.
She's a powder keg waiting to explode. You don't know where she's going to, so
nope, you don't. What about the challenge breakdown? Did you like how it seemed like there was a lot of rules?
It was a lot of rules. I just think if you go through that challenge and you get there, I think you should get immunity. That wasn't easy, but I get why they're doing it in the individual immunity, but I don't know. I just thought it was a tough challenge, especially with Cedric being hanging upside down.
I don't know what he was doing.
So, I guess maybe not. I did like it was a good challenge. I mean, it did definitely helped Say not having to do that. I think it helped her.
I wonder whatever team she landed on. It might have helped them too. I don't know how she would have been in all of the wood chips. I'm watching the whole time, and all I'm thinking and feeling is those wood chips digging into my kneecaps. And I just it never fails to amaze me how the people that are in Survivor and they go through some of these relay races, how they can just get like so into the mode where they're ignoring the injuries that they are getting. And I'm the kid who would just like go to the playground and be like, eh.
I am I used to be one of those people where I'd look like I'd play hockey and I'd come home. Cindy goes, "Where'd you get that bruise?" And there'd be this big old black and blue mark by my rib. I go, "I don't know. It doesn't hurt." I go, "Well, now that you say something, it does." And I'm just one of those people where I'm in the game. I just don't pay attention to the injuries.
Is that just part of athleticism? Is that what I'm missing? I'm just not an athlete.
No, because I know people that are athletic that, I remember playing hockey with a guy and when you're playing hockey, you don't tend to cry. And he came to the bench. He came to the bench crying, and it was like
I might.
And we're both sitting there like this. Me and this other guy are playing, and I'm like going, "You all right?" And he's crying, and we're like going, and in today's world, it'd be okay. This is like 20 years ago. So it's like, going,
I look down at.
And the other guy looked at me and he goes, "I'm really uncomfortable."
Just tell him there's no crying in hockey.
So, and he was athletic. He was just somebody who didn't have a high threshold for pain. I just think like I said, I used to have a really high threshold of pain. Now I'm in pain all the time. And it was like, okay, that was not worth it. I should have just walked away.
Maybe not. But you know what? Like, I suppose there's a certain level of, if you're a competitor, that part's there. But also, I mean, like, food is on the line and $1 million. That's pretty high stakes. I mean, like, that's not like a family picnic win, Plus,
you saw Cedric, how upset he was. He knew that Joe needed the food, that he is the reason they lost. There's no question. I mean, because it wasn't where they were so far behind on the puzzle, so far behind on the puzzle that they caught up a little bit, but once they figured it out.
Well, he felt bad because Joe didn't go get a gallon of milk out of it. And...
Exactly. Again, I don't know how you drink a gallon of milk a day.
It's still just listen, I might be the one with the issue. I just feel like it's a really weird thing.
I mean, I used to like milk with like cookies, and I
Yeah,
used to put
yeah.
milk in
Like
my ice cream, and
put
I
some
used to I
sugar
used
with
to
it.
love milk.
You bet.
Yeah, but I just not something that. But Joe said, "Hey, there's a store right around the corner from where he lives."
Hop on over there and go get another gallon. No biggie.
Sherry says, "Do you see how pissed Mitch looked as they were walking out of
Yes.
tribal count?" Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because he's not been in any of the votes.
Mm-mm. He just keeps getting the voting wrong. He keeps going the wrong way. He's not
Well,
being let in.
I think he hooked himself up with Charity, and that's hurt him
And
because
he really I think he really liked her, like that's
yeah,
his friend just got the axe. So
yeah. Well, she got
yeah.
the axe, and he had no clue that's where they're voting. You never want, especially at the merge, you never want to be the one that doesn't know what the vote is.
Yep.
You just don't want to be that person. And he's the last, like I said, he voted for Say last week because he didn't know.
Yeah.
No one's telling him anything.
If no one's putting a plan in front of you, then you're probably the plan. That's what they
Yeah.
say.
And he needs to get it. He's good in the I didn't realize he was a PE teacher. I go, oh, that's why he's so good in the physical challenge. He's
He's
a
got a
PE
good
teacher.
arm.
Yeah. So
I didn't realize he was either. Yeah, it shows.
I said he could win the game. He's likable, but right now he's on the
Yeah,
outs.
like Mitch.
He's going to have to figure out something, but I don't know if he can or not. It might be too late.
I I think he'll probably be okay simply based on there's 3 like muscle targets and there's the chaos bringer. Between that, there's got to be a way that Mitch can just kind of sink back and not be a target. I
Right.
think even when you've got like say openly talking about Eve, and Eve's like, nope. I don't feel like Eve's gonna be a pushover at all. I feel like
No.
if Eve feels like she's getting cornered, she's gonna say something. You also have Mary, who, let's face it, I think Mary just kind of likes to dig into people's ribs a little bit.
Oh
She
yeah.
might be a little bit sarcastic, and on top of all of that, you've got
She's a crap stirrer.
yes, exactly, and then on top of that, you've got somebody who like uh, Camilla. Now I don't think that she'll start any beef with anybody openly, but if you watched her during Tribal, she rolled her eyes so many times. So, I mean, like every time Jeff said something that you could tell Jeff was like, "Oh, I did a good job with that one." She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god."
You
So
can see Eve was the way she was looking at Charity when Charity was talking.
yes, yes, yes. There was a lot of obvious facial expressions. Guys, you need to do better at your poker face.
Yeah.
Because the thing is some people can ignore that, but again, Say is someone who's gonna notice your faces.
Yeah.
Be
She's
careful.
definitely going to read your face and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was I don't know. I like Joe. I like Eve how they play, but they're like a couple, and I think I'm a little worried
Yeah.
that they're going to try and break them up. Someone's going to try and break them up.
They're a really obvious duo, and this isn't a season like this season of Australia Survivor has a lot of duos. Just everybody's got a partner. So it's like, 1 or 2 duos isn't a big deal. They don't become a target because everyone's a duo. There's really
Right.
there's no other duo now that Mitch lost Charity. I
Right.
can't think of another duo in the game. So, yeah.
That's a good point because I can't think of anybody either.
Now, Charity seems to be the only one outside of Say who has said anything about we need to break them up now. I don't know how many people are going to have the nerve to do it based on that emotional moment from last episode. And I think they would have beforehand, but then
Yeah.
having the confirmation from Eve that she has autism and Joe is helping her through that moment, I think people are going to be kind of afraid to step out on that ice.
Nobody wants to be the bad person.
No, but Say doesn't care. And and Charity was like, it doesn't really matter. We're here to play for $1 million. So
Which she's right.
Yeah.
There's the other duo, David's two sets of people.
I forgot he had a double.
You can't once he said it, you can't unsee it.
No, and I
You
totally forgot all about it. Now I'm gonna have to go rewatch the episode just to there they are. there's the extra set.
Sherry says, yeah, there's 2 secret duos that no one knows about, though. Yeah,
That's true because
that's
there's
true.
you
Kyle.
Kyle and Camilla.
Yeah.
I love her. She so quickly became my favorite.
Well, they're smart.
Yes, keep
They're
it
not.
quiet.
I mean,
Yep.
like they said to be, I think it was Kyle said, he goes, we came in here hoping to stay around, and we ended up getting, not only did we stay, we got 2 allies.
Yeah, it's great. And Kyle's kind of sitting in a good position because he got people that came to him, to create like an alliance. So they've got even and Joe both talk about David, Shaheen, Kyle, all wanting to work together. That's like a powerhouse alliance. And then if he has Camilla on the side and they don't know, that's a pretty good one. I think it'll carry her further than him. But yeah. So that is a good secret duo. Yes.
But at this time, we're going to take a commercial break. So you think that might hurt Kyle in the long run?Maybe she cuts him loose.
Yeah. Okay. You get a group of guys. So it's kind of like I'm gonna a little throw out to our buddy Got, who really likes to knock down that all girl alliances don't work. It's tough to get an all guy alliance when it's not like a mix of types of guys. These are all big physical players. There's not a lot of wiggle room in that alliance.
And they like each other.
But someone's gonna cut somebody. That's just how it goes. I get the idea of trying to take all of the powerhouse players and put them in one alliance and that there's safety in numbers that way. But it doesn't matter in this era of Survivor.
Because no, you have puzzles.
You're gonna you're gonna miss your opportunity. If you're a single player and you're not in an alliance and you can get idols or immunities that can hold you for a little while, but they're going to cut you. It's new era. You're a physical threat. The end. Bye. It's just how it goes. One of them might squeak. I guarantee you one will squeak by. But meanwhile, you could have someone like Mary and Camilla run in circles around those boys. So we'll see.
Me personally, I would go after the puzzle people. Because I think even David said it. We get the likable, we get the
yes,
the puzzle people, the strategic people.
Yeah.
Because the puzzle people, because it always seems like there's a puzzle challenge,
and
especially at towards the end. It always seems like a puzzle challenge, and if you're not good at puzzles, you got to get rid of those people.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like the people that are good at the puzzles also tend to be the people that shine in endurance challenges.
That's true too. That's a good point.
Like that's kind of that's the one place where these big boys don't really do as well is in the endurance. So yeah, you're right. Go for the puzzle people. They're the dangerous ones. But that's just not what we do in the new era. We got to take out the big guys. But there is enough of them this season that, usually we lose them all by merge. We get 2 of them and they're gone by merge. So maybe by oversaturating the island with muscles.
Well, they still need to get a couple more people on that alliance.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the majority yet. Unless Camilla is going to go with whatever Kyle says for now.
I wonder who they would even bring in. I mean, having David and Joe and Eve as a trio is dangerous enough.
Yes.
But that right away kind of puts Kyle at the bottom of that totem pole. He's not, he's going to need Camilla. He's just going to.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. He brings Camilla in, but they don't, like you said, they don't know he has Camilla.
Yeah, they'd have to open up their game for them to know that they exist to bring her in on the alliance, or he's going to have to split the alliance
be honest with you, they're all smart people. That we're with Joe and I'm drawing a blank on his name.
You've got David, Joe, Shaheen, and Kyle and
Shaheen.
Eve are all in that alliance.
Shaheen. How they had not figured out that Camilla and Kyle are working together. I can't figure it out.
I don't know, but see, okay, the people that they had originally, that they were originally on tribe with, like, clearly those people have to come in at some point and be like, well, they were buddies when we were this original tribe. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we can't keep it secret for long.
Brian H says maybe Eva can recruit Star after last week.
She'd be a good opportunity there.
Yeah. But is Star playing the game that I don't know if she's in an alliance yet.
I don't know.
She's just having a blast.
I just think she's having a good time. Like, I think she's following the game, but she's out there having a good time. I don't know how locked in she is on out gaming other people.
It's like when Charity was trying to say, you need to get your idol back. She goes, well, no, she solved it. Finders keepers. She got it.
She can have it. It's fine.
It's like, and then when they said, she goes, when they're at the reward dinner or whatever it was, feast, she goes, oh, Eva has an idol? I thought that was pretty funny because she gave her the idol.
I do like, though, that it was like instantly it was like, oh, Eva has an idol, we gotta go for her. It doesn't matter that she was gifted it. You know what I mean? Like Star, that was the best move. It really was. So many times when people have an idol and we get mad because they tell somebody else and it's not a secret, or they play it dumb, or it gets wasted, and it's like, she just gave this one away and it ended up being a really good move accidentally.
Yeah. Because you don't want to have, like you said, we always say, don't let anybody know you have an idol, because no one knows Say has one, right?
No,
Am I right?
No, she's got a secret.
Yeah, but nobody knows she has one. I mean, I guess I don't know. I just think that's the wise thing to do. But like you said, Star not having the idol took the target off her back.
Well, everybody knew that she had it because she tried to get everyone to help her solve it. Yeah. So it was a waste at that point. It just, handing it over was the best thing she could do. But it is going to be interesting though too, because now we're talking about like who's going to have the gumption to try to split up Joe and Eve, and now on top of that she has an idol.
Yeah,
that girl's locking in.
If she plays it smart. But again, with her story, there's no way I want to sit final 3 with her.
Yeah,
there's no way. I mean, it's just like going, okay, she came out against all odds.
Do you think that she'll be, I'm doing air quotes, she'll be allowed to stick around until like maybe 5 or 4, and then she'll be the cut?
I would think so. Again, I'd like to see her win. I like to see. There's a lot of people. I have a lot of favorites this year so far.
Yeah, they cast. I was actually talking to Brian about this earlier. Is that the U.S.
I'm sorry. I had to talk to Brian.
Occasionally, one must. But the U.S. casting has been really good over the last few years of giving us people that you could very quickly relate to, even if they have a very different backstory or whatever that what you have. But I think part of the game being so short is they really realized that in casting they had to have people that you were going to connect to much faster than what they used to have. Because you need somebody to root for and you need somebody to root against. Right. That's what makes the game fun. So kudos to casting. These people have been very enjoyable, and
they had a bad stretch there for like 4 years.
Yeah, they did.
But then they came back. Let's hire all the pretty people. No, that didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's nice to look at pretty, but it doesn't always play the game, and it lacked some of the fun.
Yeah, I mean, these people have like I said, again, Star had no idea she had such a great personality, and
Listen, I'm going to tell you, though, that I have it marked in my notes that I knew she had a good personality because of her pre-interviews. She's hilarious. And because she wanted Klaus Michelson to be her visit from home person. And it is so off the wall that I had to immediately love her.
So since I didn't watch the pre-interviews, I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't. You only
No,
could go by my word. And
I just have to take your word for it. I knew you did talk about somebody, but I didn't know it was Star.
And I'm telling you, if you look at my points track record this season, my word's not worth much.
Yeah, I try to avoid what you say and do. So it makes it easier for me.
It's been so bad. It's been so bad. I don't care. I'm gonna win at the end. I'm gonna be
That's all.
my
That's
final
all that
three.
matters.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's all that matters.
I just know it.
So next week, I don't remember what the previews were.
Well, there is some talk about we're gonna get Shaheen's gonna be framed for something.
Oh, okay.
There was a bit of that. Did you get any of the commercials? I know you like to zip through the commercials whenever possible. Did
No,
you see the?
I watched it live. I have to watch commercials.
Okay. Did you see the Survivor Yellow Jackets edition?
Yes, I saw that.
It was kind of fun.
I've never seen the Yellow Jackets. So
Well, they do a lot of eating people. So
okay, all right.
There's a lot of people
are they zombies?
No, they're lost in the woods. It's very much an alive situation, except for with a girls lacrosse team. Lacrosse. I think it's lacrosse.
Okay.
But there is a lot of like the forest possessing them, and they are eating their teammates and coaches. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
So I'm watching this, and the very first thing that pops up in my head, seeing Jeff there, is like, this is how he meets his end. This is it. Jeff's being eaten.
If Say was on Yellow Jacks, she would have come back and said, we had some fingers, we had an arm, we had some legs, we had a heart.
There was
some
a heart.
Intestines.
It was so good.
That was really great. The ears are a little rough. You know, there's not a lot of flavor there. But
saved the dimples for last.
Yes. Maybe I should watch that show. I don't know. Alive was hard enough to watch. I don't know. Anything else out there that we forgot about, didn't talk about?
Not a whole lot. Like I said, the tribal was weird. Everybody was trying, like, sometimes you can just see, like, all right, these guys are a little bit like, well, for some of them, it's their first tribal, right? So this is the first time they get to sit down and have an up-close conversation with the old Jeff Probst. So they're like a little starstruck, trying to find like the right phrasing that's going to get them another chance to talk some more.
Forgot to talk about Star and the pin. When she got up, when she went to go write and she lost it, went flying at her hand.
Whoops.
I go, that's a first. I don't think I've ever seen anyone fling the pin. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. It kind of tracks. I don't know. It felt like a very Star thing to do.
Yeah, because you could tell the people that hadn't been there, they're all like this, looking around. And I get you. You're first. I mean, that's what you're eventually, you hope to end up there. Well, I guess obviously you're going to end up there eventually. But when you get there for the first time, it's like, wow.
I'm also so pleased that set design decided that tribal was just going to look like tribal and wasn't going to look like China, even though they weren't playing in China and the theme had nothing. You know how they were doing that for a while?
Yeah.
They had the whole like season, the one that Carolyn was on, where it was all like Dungeons and Dragons. And it's like, even though I love seeing the different set that they make, it just doesn't make any sense. And so I can't get behind it. But I like that they've settled back down into their roots, as it were. And looks like tribal again.
Yeah. Maybe it's cheaper too.
Well,
again, I would love season 50 to be somewhere else.
Yes.
I think that would get back to your roots, just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best.
I agree. Like Australia is doing the same thing. They film in Samoa every season. So maybe they could just swap.
Well, that's a great idea.
Swap one out. I mean,
I get why they do it because of cost, but
sure. But you kind of already have the camps. The camps are kind of already out there in the areas in Samoa. They have their set. You can just swap it out.
Plus
I
the
would never do it.
challenges. What else can you do with the challenges? There's not, I mean, I remember it was it Australia? Where was it Australia or Africa? Where they what's one where Michael burned himself? That was Australia,
That was
right?
Australia, yep.
Then they had that high cliff they had to jump off,
Oh my
and
god, yeah. That
because
was a crazy season too, not having, like, a great big body of water, like, in
right,
every shot, and
yeah, because I remember watching that, going, I don't know if I would do that.
now I do think that they should switch it up. I think that is a great idea. I would love if they had a different location. But if they couldn't do a different location, at least bring us down to 2 tribes. That's it.
Yeah.
One or the
Again,
other, that'd be okay.
again, I'm all for the one tribe, and they just make the picks every schoolyard
I love
pick.
it. I think that would be, uh I think it would create such an interesting fold in alliances.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if you're picking, I'm going to try and pick people in my alliance because I don't want them to
Yeah,
go home, right? So
right.
that would be hard to. Okay, well, Bob keeps picking Mike. What's going on here? They must be working together. And again, when there's an odd number, that person doesn't get picked. They shouldn't go. They shouldn't. They should get immunity right away. It should be almost be
Right.
like how you're complaining about how this year when people went to they had to go to those things and they didn't have a choice. I don't
Yep,
want to do it. I don't want to
yep.
lose my vote. I think that would also, okay, why are we want this person to go home, but they're terrible in the challenges. Do I want them on it's just being more strategy to the game, I think, and make it more
Oh,
interesting.
I agree, and you'd have to be rather than having one solid alliance, you'd have to have a rotating door policy.
Right.
So you'd have to have, like, a tri-alliance that you could swivel around when you needed to.
Plus
Um,
you wouldn't have to have productions dictating, okay, we're going to break them up now. We're going to split them up now. We're going
yep.
to I would like to see that just one
I
time, see how it works.
I do too. I really like the idea of there not being any set certainty. Alliances are great. You need to have alliances in these games. It makes sense fundamentally when you're playing it. As for
Right.
watching it, steamroll alliances are no fun at all. 0%. Nobody likes them. It is much more interesting when you have a fluid game and you've got people that have 3 or 4 others that they can bounce around through.
Right.
This would ensure that it would have to play that way.
And then
So,
at the finals, you only have
yeah,
two
just
people, and no
just
fire
2.
challenge. I'm sick of the fire challenge. So yeah, just have
You
two
can
people.
never predict. If you have a 2-person end, you cannot predict how it's gonna go. I mean,
Yeah.
most of the time.
The
I guess
third
there's
person.
a few.
It would be different if there was a vote one time where it was 3-4-2, but it's never like that. The third
No.
person just looks like an idiot. They don't get any votes.
They don't
I
get
mean,
anything. Yeah, nothing.
oh, nobody wanted me to win. Wow, I'm glad. I mean, I get $50,000. I get more than the fourth
I'm
person.
glad I got to sit here and answer one question and be told to shush. It's the worst. It's
Yeah.
like,
So it's like, yeah, we really don't want to talk to you because we're not voting for you.
yeah, I'm
It
so
doesn't
glad that
matter what you say.
I am so glad I wasn't important enough to do fire. Thank you.
Yeah. I was just brought along to be a goat.
Yep.
Not the greatest of all time, the actual goat.
The actual baba. Yes.
Anyway, that's what I'd like to see, and I'd like to see happen. I mean, Amazing Race has gotten better because
Yep.
I don't know if you watch Amazing Race.
I do. I try to tune in. I'm
Yeah.
I'm pretty far behind this season already.
Yeah,
But
I always hated the non-elimination rounds. I said,
yep.
what is the point of these? They finally got rid of them because I used to complain about it all the time in the podcast. I said, what's the point? Why do we have the non-elimination rounds?
I'm telling you that those non-elimination rounds only exist. They keep one in their pocket, and they're allowed to use it whenever they decide that whatever team is their favorite is in the most danger.
Yeah, exactly.
Non-elimination. Wouldn't you know it? I'm glad they got rid of it.
I think there was one time where the person, the team got non-elimination twice, and they ended up winning. And I'm like, oh, come on.
That's not right. You know what that is? You know what that is? That is Erica and that sand timer. Like, that's it. That's it. Like, oh, we're gonna flip it, redo.
Yeah.
Not fair. It's not fair.
Anyway.
So, okay, as it turns out, I did get our feedback forwarded to us.
Oh, did you?
So thanks very much to the crafty ways of Colleen. We did get our feedback. We did get feedback this week from Mandy.
Mandy!
All right. Mandy says, please use the feedback below for whichever opinion the majority agree with. 1, Mergatory is the worst. Can we end it already? 2, Mergatory is amazing. I'm so glad blank was saved. We will be watching tomorrow morning. Thanks, springtime storms and climate change. Yeah, thanks, Mandy.
Thanks, Mandy. So she didn't see it yet. She's just.
No. She knows. She knows.
She knows.
Mergatory is the worst.
I did like when Joe was saying, who do we want to make sure is not on the jury?
Yeah, get him out of there while there's still a chance.
But you still got, you still have Say, who, I mean, she's back at Ponderosa, angry. She could sway people. And that's the problem. That's a problem.
She could. Also, that would suck.
And the only problem, and one last thing,
have an angry Say at Ponderosa, and you're sitting there, you're like, I lost $1 million. Can you please stop telling me?
I just want a hot fudge sundae, and you're really ruining it for me.
Stop telling me how stupid I am, please.
Yeah, but I forgot what I was going to say. Crap. That wasn't probably important anyway. I'm going to say something about.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know what it was I was to say. Anyway, it was something about the final vote.
Yes, who we want out. Who do we want to send? Who do we not want to make it to jury? Who we want to keep out of there? Those wild cards.
Well, now they're all on jury, right? Anybody voted out now is in jury, right?
Are we already there? I don't have a number of how many people were down.
12. It's 12. So
yeah.
So everybody's on the jury.
This season's too fast. It's just too fast.
Yeah, now you got Say, who's gonna be on the jury.
Say's gonna have a say.
Yeah.
She will.
Too much of a say.
So, okay, when we look at our points this week, Jack, you had Cedric going home, so no point there. And then
why did I have Cedric?
You know what? I think you originally had Charity, and then you decided, I'm going to change it.
That was pretty smart.
See what you get. And then you had Charity going into merge, so no point there.
Man, she was so close.
She was right there. I had Say going home. She almost did, but no point. And I had Charity at merge, so no point. There's a theme. There's a theme for me.
This seems to happen to me every season, that the person that goes home when they merge, but it's not technically merge. Yeah. I don't get that point.
It's because exactly what Mandy said, and that is that mergatory sucks.
Yeah, if you make the merge, it should be the merge.
You're at the merge. All right, and then Colleen had Charity going home, so she receives another point. I think she has 5 points now.
Wow,
just pulling out ahead. And then she also had her for merge, so no point on that. Now we got to decide who you think's going home next week. Who do you think it's gonna be? I'll tell you right now that Colleen says that she believes Kyle is going home next week because he and Camilla think that they have this big secret, but someone's going to figure it out.
That could be true. I'm going to go with Mitch.
Yeah, that's one I was kind of wondering.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just think he's just hasn't been part of the votes, and he's pretty good at the challenges, so could be Mitch.
All right. I am just going to throw a name out there, and I'm going with Shaheen.
That's a good one.
You know what I have learned is that thinking through this just doesn't do me any good. Sink or swim. Just toss it out there.
Well, you never know.
You never know. It's like, it's a hard game of craps out here.
Yeah, it is.
So there. Now we have all that going forward. So you are going to say, Colleen's saying Kyle. You're saying Mitch. I've got Shaheen.
Yeah. There we go.
Maybe one of us will get a point next.
How exciting! How exciting is that?
It's a thrill.
Well, I think this wraps it up. I think we're going to be back next Wednesday, right?
Yeah, after the episode, as far as I'm aware.
Yes. But thanks for everyone who joined us in the chat. Sherry, I can't think of the other guy. He doesn't matter. Chris was in the chat. Let's see. Is anybody else? I can't think of the other guy. Something H. I don't know, BH or
These people.
BS. I don't know what his name is. Anyway, that's all we got. But if you like this show and you want to become a patron, go to jayandjack.com. Click on the little button that says become a patron. We're still looking for that $1 million patron. That one person goes, you know what? I'm gonna give these guys $1 million. And since Colleen wasn't here today, sick, she doesn't get it. Right? Is that how it works?
Mergatory, baby.
But we're going to thank our patrons that reach a certain level. We're going to thank, almost said it. We're going to thank Eckhart, Richter, Gladfelder, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Letter Carrier. Thanks for what you do. And whatever, Dean Spanos, you know what you can do with your self.
Oh, Spanos.
Spanos. That's all we got. Bye, everybody. And Brian H.
Bye.